Hi, if I ask a question, do you have sufficient money? Or if I ask more simpler question, how much money you have? Most of us fumble. Why? Because we never taken a systematic approach to our finances. And to ensure we do a systematic approach to our finances, we should have a financial plan. So, what is a financial plan? A plan to address planned financial goals and unplanned expenses. What are the planned financial goals? All of us know what are the future, where do we stand? We'll go in the next few slides what those goals could be. But more importantly, many of us don't consider what are all the unplanned expenses that can come our way. It could be an accident happening and hospital expenses. It could be a job loss. It could be any other kind of a calamities that come our way. Maybe a simple thing saying that a freeze or a AC or a something which has broken down in your house, which you are not expecting. So there are a lot of unplanned expenses and there are planned expenses. First, let us spend some time in this particular video of going through what could be our planned financial goals. Let us take a simple example. Let us take a typical Indian scenario, a middle class family. I'm not saying that this is exactly what's for everybody, but this is broadly the framework which we should look into. Let us take this guy who is his name is Srinivas, who is 27 years old. He just joined the job. He started getting his income, and you know what happens next in India. The parents and everybody will put a pressure saying they're going to get married, and he moves into his next phase of his life. So let us assume that at the age of 28, this person got married to a girl called Padma. Then at the age of 30, a girl is born who's named, let us say, Swati. At the age of 31, he bought a car. At the age of 32, he bought a house. And again at the age of 35, another baby born, let us call him Kishore. So if you look at, maybe these numbers will change this way, that way for everybody. But more or less, this is a typical framework in which most of us as a Indian families work. This continues, and let us take this girl who is born at an age of 30 for this person. When this person becomes 47, the girl becomes around 17 years or 18 years old, and she gets into her graduation. Then at an age of 51 of this person, she gets into post-graduation. And when Srinivas becomes a 54-year-old, most likely Swati's wedding is in the place and there are a lot of expenses there. Now let us look at the next kid, Kishore. He is born a little late, he is 35, and this Srinivas is 35, this kid is born. And at age of 52, Kishore's graduation has come. And maybe at age of 56, his post-graduation has come. And nowadays, a lot of people look at sending their children abroad and giving them a higher education. And finally, Srinivas himself has retired from his job at the age of 58. Now, if you really look at this entire spectrum, you are talking about almost 30 years. Let us say at the age of 28, you got married, and at the age of 58, you have retired. We are not talking about 1 year or 2 years. We are talking about a spectrum of almost 30 years. And the moment a kid is born in India, we take at least up to age of 24. Of course, in the Western countries, the logic is very different. By age of 17 or 18, you are expected to earn on your own and to take some loan and pay your college fee and all that. But at least in Indian situation, it is different. So your own expenses first starting, let us say, age of 28 up to 58 in retirement, and after 58 again for rest of your life, where you are not earning any money, that is a post-retirement and post-retirement expenses. What is significance of each of these boxes in this particular video? If you look at each one of them has a cost attached to it, and these are all planned costs. If kid is born, you are going to pay money, you have to have some expenses to it. You buy a car, you pay down payment, and then you buy a EMI. Or if you go to buy a house, again, same thing, you are going to do down payment, and then you're going to pay EMI, or for a graduation or a marriage, or even for the retirement and post-retirement expenses, you are going to have certain amount of money. In a simplistic way, if I tell you what is a financial planning, look at each of these boxes, and is these boxes applicable to you? It all depends on where are you in this cycle and what is the family situation. Let us assume that you are here, you are 31 years old, you just bought a car, you are planning to buy a house, and few things are, you already have a kid, and let us say few things are ahead of. What we need to do as a financial planning is that in each of this line, each of the boxes you take, maybe some boxes are applicable to you, some boxes are not applicable to you. Take each of these boxes and calculate how much money you will be needing at that point of time. Not today. Today, anyway, you will calculate, but you need to know when you become 47 years old, when your daughter comes to your graduation, how much the cost per graduation today, let us say it is going to 15 lakhs, 17 years down the line, or 10 years down the line, or 8 years down the line, that could be 25 lakhs, that could be 30 lakhs, and it is going to be some other amount. So as a simplest part of the financial planning, think of all these milestones of your life. What is the cost that is going to be at that point of time, and how do I accrue that money from today to that point of time? Let us say you are talking about Swati's marriage, which is, let us say, 24 years. Today she's born, she's 30, you have 30 years, and 24 years down the line, Swati's marriage will come. What is the cost as of today? What will be the cost putting a 6 or 7% or 8% inflation 24 years down the line? So what that amount going to be? And if I start saving today, how much I have to save and how I'm going to reach that goal? That is what you need to do in terms of financial planning. However, all these goals, the plan you do will not be same. If you want to buy a house next month or next year, you plan in certain way, and because it's just a 1 year away, and for your retirement, which is maybe around 28 years away, you plan in a different way, and something else which is less than, let us say, 6 years or 7 years away, you do a planning in a different way. So how does this planning will change from how much time horizon you have and how much money you need is something we will look in the next video. Hope this has given some idea of how do we even start. If you like this, naturally, standard statements, like the video and you subscribe it. I will keep adding new videos to it step by step. How do we do financial planning? Initially, we will talk about all this at a high level plan. Later on, we will go into numbers and we'll take some examples. We will put together numbers. With that, thank you very much, and hope you enjoyed my video.